What's up? Good morning here, everybody. I'm just waking up about an hour ago. And that's my magic trick. Alright, what's up? What is up? The human element, the human flaw, and the human nobility. Those are the reasons that chess matches human, unfortunately, has some human failings. What is up? Astrobot is here. Astrobot, you need to create an Astrobot. Acerbic. An acerbic Acerbot. Juicebox Wizard. Alright. We are back taking blitz / rapid challenges. 5+3, call it what you want. Is it blitz? Is it rapid? I guess technically it's blitz. I'm not sure anymore. Maybe it is rapid. It has to be blitz. 5+3. I'm hearing this weird sound. There's like a vibrating sound. Hello? Hello? Are you in my fridge? Hello? Mrs. Arlsberg. Jenny Graham. Alright. Yeah. It's the land shark. Phew, I love mornings. I want to get a t-shirt. We need merch. The Kraken merch and Kraken merch. Squid merch. Mr. Beast deep fake merch. Alright. Sladgie deepfakes. Don't be fooled by Sladgie deepfakes trying to sell you dental coverage. Oh man. Alright. Well, if we don't want to play chess, what are we going to do today? There's Viking beer. It is rapid. Oh, 7+5. Okay. You challenged me to conventional time control. Mr. Viking beer is a conservative libertarian or something. He doesn't want to change time controls. Anyway, he's slow, like me. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, D3, the Kraken. Possible white Kraken. Be warned. If you know the Kraken is coming, you might want to play G6 and counter on this diagonal. Tribute Kraken. Of course, if you do play G6, you have to have a repertoire that's connected. I've been playing D3 a lot with white in offhand games, and opponents just think it's like disrespect or something. I knew this guy who used to play it on a regular basis at our chess club in Boston. It's not you know, it's not really worse than any other like one square pawn move. B3, D3, C3, E3, G3. They're all A3. They're all reasonable. It's not the Kraken. Kraken door. It's a Kraken. No, it's what I want it to be. It's a Sicilian now. Mole man. You are attacking my pawn. You are bad. Kraken. Phil McCracken. We need like a spokesperson for the Kraken. Hi, I'm Phil McCracken. Speaking of deepfake AI, I'm Phil McCracken for the Kraken. You're playing like a tempo down modern now, bro. Is that good? Is that good? It's like a tempo down pterodactyl. It's a slow pterodactyl. I'm playing the pterodactyl. A tempo up. So knight c6 is viable. Viability 0. Knight c6 d5. I think you have the option to sacrifice in exchange. Vikinger hasn't really mastered the dynamic yet. Well, it's hard. A lot of people haven't mastered the dynamic, but I'm saying, like, if I were to play knight c6, you could play conservatively, but you could also sack the exchange. d5, bishop takes b2, knight d2, bishop a1, queen a1, with practical chances, even if it's not objectively sound. 7 plus 5 allows me to commentate more in the game, whereas like 5 plus 3 I've got to kind of just react. But honestly here, Phil McCracken with the money store. No, that's Phil Rizzuto. Alright, queen b6, knight c3, pawn takes pawn, knight d5. Something, something, something. Queen b6 is an option. Not unsound. Wow. He literally spent 3 seconds on that move. So I'm not going to take the pawn on b2, I'm going to take the pawn on d4. And then after knight d5, I'm going to play queen a5 check, your bishop's hanging, and then I go back, and you're down a central pawn. Congratulations, you've lost a central pawn. No, you haven't. You have b4. Oh, shit. So that's the problem with mornings. The Tog. The Tog. Sir. Sire. Okay. Nothing to see here, folks. I could actually sack material. Knight d5, queen b2, knight c7 check, king d8, rook b1, or no. What am I talking about? Knight d5, queen b2, rook b1, queen a3, knight c7 check. I forgot he had b4. It's a really ugly move, though. Queen c5 is an option, but white has b4 anyway. The only addition there is queen d6. Addition. Additional subtraction. Phil Rizzuto for the money store. Sacrifice my queen, baby. That would be fun. Pure showmanship. Pawn takes e3, knight takes b6. Pawn takes b6, pawn takes f2, check. King takes f2, pawn takes b6. How much comp do I have here? You know, enough to beat him slimily in blitz, but it's not objectively correct. I'm not going to do crappy shit. Crap and shit. Crappy shit because I can. Like, this is just not correct to sack the queen here. I could do it. I could probably beat Viking Beer. But against top flight opposition, you know, sacking my queen for a pawn and two pieces is trash. I'm not going to do that. You can beat... Yeah, dude. You blundered. Okay, he missed b4. But I expected you to play bishop d2. This is an interesting move I hadn't considered, you know. You know. I have to trade queens now, and he takes the bishop, and now knight c7 is a threat. So that's original. But I think the most important thing about this position is the pawn. Dun 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 dun. Where is it? I mean, Holmes. That's just lethal. Danny Glover. I mean, that is a heavy pawn, man. That's atomic weight is like very high. It was a nice try though, bro. Like, if I don't have king d8, maybe the whole thing works. Of course, I could have bailed out. You know, alternatively, I didn't have to try to keep the pawn. I could have bailed with I could always bail with queen d8, but then it's kind of surrendering. So now white doesn't have enough compensation for this super pawn. The fact that I can't castle is not gonna cut it in terms of compensation for super pawn. Super Panda, you have been evicted. Neog, Mr. Knight. We've signed the eviction notice. You're out of here. Haha. Get out. Oh no. You know what? I'm getting this impression about Viking Beer. We don't play enough, but you know, you can play well, but sometimes he has an impulsive tendency. I mean, it also depends. Like, I know Viking Beer is like in Asia, and it's maybe late where he is. You never know what kind of condition he's in, what kind of drugs he's on. He probably took 3 Xanax before this game. No, he'd be sleeping. Alright, what kind of drugs are we on today? Dude, gotta take this out. Give me. Or moves too fast. Someone doesn't like their pieces or moves too fast. Now, the thing about Viking Beer that I guess you're making me... Yeah. Like, he took his time on some moves, like, very well, and then on other moves he was, like, instantaneous. So I think that points out a flaw in Viking Beer's, like, pace of play, if you will. It seems like in some moves you're, like, very concentrated and you take your time, and in other moves you're, like, very quickly making a decision. You got to pace yourself and be more methodical about time management. You made bad moves very quickly. Basically, like, some of your worst moves were your fastest moves. in this game. So time management is important at all levels. I had this weird game yesterday where I was playing an anonymous dude, just unrated. You assume everyone's like a noob. And it was maybe the first time in hundreds of unrated games that I've played, 5+3, where the guy like literally played the whole game using all his time, and then we got down to the 3-second increments, and suddenly he was like a bullet master. It was weird. Not too many people have the skill to do that at, like, you know, anonymous, unrated game level. He just like smoked me when we got down to 3-second increments. I was like, what? Viking Beer, interesting opening. You lost the tempo. Bad. You're committed now, you know, to doing a closed Sicilian. So you can choose between knight c3 or c3 here. But this down a tempo pterodactyl is bad. Well, this was a kind of interesting idea, though. If I take the pawn on b2, I can get in types of traps. But your tempo down here matters. Okay, here, and now C, analysis board. Shit. Computer is surprising me. Wow. I honestly didn't take this too seriously. Well, he does have full compensation. Man, there's a crazy move. Wow, d3. So, and the funny thing is, queen c5 is better than queen a5 check. No, it changed its mind. Yeah, so it even took the engine a while to reach the conclusion that I made. G-Spec Wizard, you totally either misevaluated or didn't see b4. That's the kind of move that comes with experience if you played this type of position before. I know it from Modern Defense lines. I had a friend who had a game in the New York Open. It's a line in one of the pterodactyl Modern Defense lines, and I have to go back and you get your pawn back, you know. It's very straightforward. And you would be better except for this b4. b4 looks kind of weird. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fit into the position, so that could be like a weakening on the long run, but overall your position's okay. So here you like quickly made a decision to do queen d2, and that was like, really, you're winning, bro, if I don't have king d8. See, the problem with missing b4 is that you need to consider forcing moves. My friend Chaz Hertan played. He wrote a book called Forcing Moves. It's ironic because he's like totally exaggeratedly positional player, and he writes a book about tactics. It's kind of like maybe he he felt like he had something to make up for, but the concept is like all forcing moves need to be examined. Like you should see b4 because it is the most forcing move. It actually threatens to win my queen. There's no reason to miss this move for that reason alone. But after queen e2, you're down a clear pawn. And an important pawn at that. Notice knight a6 doesn't work because if bishop takes a6 and you fork me on c7, game over. But the problem is you're down a central pawn. And even here, you have some chances, right? e6, and then you just blundered. And this is, again, played pretty quickly, 20 seconds. So, you know, you have two options, knight b4, knight f4, and you're down a central pawn. The closet tactician, exactly. Alright, that was fun. Hey, Nedog, do you have any good movie reviews? What was it? The Last Voyage of the Demeter? So now you talked me into watching that. Nedog reviews. Have you thought about starting your own YouTube channel? Alright. Hey, I'm Panda. Hey, dog. Hello. Hey. No. What are the challenges? I'm Shark. Yoshi. Super Mario Brothers. I have a stuffed octopus? Wow. I need one of those. I need me a Kraken. What's Kraken? I want to get a t-shirt. I want to get merch. Kraken merch. Sauced up. And they misspelled something. Sauced up said I am funny. Lost Harshi. Lost Amigos. New England Aquarium. Oh yeah. Dude, the gift shop New England Aquarium is like typical, like brutal. Don't take your kids in the gift shop at the museum. Damn, dude, that shit is just criminal. You end up like spending like twice the amount of money that you did on the admission to the museum. It's just devastating. We have some kind of plushie from New England Aquarium somewhere. But anyway, that's not really what we're here for, you know? That's not why we're here. I don't know. No one really plays like that against me in the opening, like that. What are you trying to say? No one really plays like that. Look, man, you played d3 on the first move. I feared the Kraken, so I jumped to g6. The Kraken, you know, I'm playing a3, d3, b4, and it involves oftentimes p and Keto, so playing lots of Krakens myself, I'm very like aware of the fact that if I play g6, I'm countering you there. Also very effective against a3. I think a3, again, analysis word, if you play a3 on move 1, I'm telling you, like, g6 is good. Notice how g6 has the highest statistical percentage wins for black. Because, like, in the English, like, a3 is sort of a stupid move here. You know, like, why would you need to play a3? It's just a waste of time. Okay, anyway. Dude, at the New England Aquarium 25 years ago, 1998, you got a plushie otter? You were at New England Aquarium and you didn't look me up, bro? I might have been in Hungary. No, I was home. You know, exactly 25 years ago marked my first return to the United States, like September 2003. No, what am I talking about? December. Sorry, I'm all messed up. September. I'm trying to say 1998. I don't know where 2003 came from. September 1998, Acerbate would have been 25 years ago. October 1998. That's when my life started to fall apart. Then I was there for like the best and worst part. Although I did okay in chess, my personal life like was a living hell. That's actually when I started to see Nedog from time to time. Back around then, early 2000s. No, it's funny because I look back on 25 years ago was when I finished my IM title and I went back to the United States. It was a important moment. But the point is, if Astrobait was there at New England Aquarium in 1998, he could have looked us up. It's a shame. I was partying pretty hard. Okay. Let's get some games on. Puzzles. Puzzle dashboard. Puzzle streak. Where's our challenges? Oh, it's me. Look. Oh, I'm still doing the old one. Okay, that's cool. So these are going to be pretty hard. This is really hard, man. I win a piece. Oh, there's a rook on b2. I didn't notice that one hiding over there. I thought I just had one rook. Wow, double rooks. It's like rook bonus. Where's the name? I don't know, man. I think we can win a piece. Is that the solution? Rook a8 check. Rook a7. Rook takes d8. That's kind of lame. Thought I was doing well. You'd redo a game. Okay. That I was just being nice. Or maybe he is that, like, nerfed down. You thought he was doing well? Yeah, well, like, he's down a central pawn. It's too early in the morning. I'm not going to hold you to it. Your evaluation of position. That's a dumb puzzle. Alright. Juicebox Wizard. The School of Wizardry. C4. So, alright. Normally I don't play this, but in yesterday's lesson with Ubatis, he was preparing for an opponent who he suspects is going to play the English at his club. And for those of you who don't know who Ubatis is, he's Danish player here from my stream, he's around 1800 FIDE, 2100 lichess, and so we were talking about this. I never played the Slav, but you know, just to prove a point, I want to play this and see what the English opening player does. So you're playing d4. Wow. I told you about this, that like 30% of his opponents will play g3. Probably another 30 would play knight f3. A small percentage of players would play e4, and then, you know, some percentage of players would play d4. But I didn't think like we'd see the snap d4 after c4. If you like the Slavs so much, why don't you just play d4? Alright, anyway. Let's play knight f6 and reevaluate, depending on what white plays here. I'm not really a Slav player, keep in mind. Maybe you use that to your advantage. If I play a King's Indian, the problem is the early c6. Isn't standard. Damn. Just busting the really sharp attempt now. Dedok, you might have been there at the time. One of those Northeast getaway tournaments where I like lost with white against Wojtkiewicz. I'm not sure if you were at that tournament. It was around 2000. But you know, the move order was a little different. I think my knight was already on f3, which justifies this maybe a bit more for black. Like, I'm thinking of d5, thinking of a number between 1 and 7. Alright, let's do it. Basically, Wojo would do this c6, King's Indian. What year did you come visit the first time? Oh, dude, okay, that was wasn't my daughter like a little kid, like a baby? Or... yeah, it was just my daughter. She was like 1 year old. Yeah. That was like 2011. It must have been 2010, actually. ...2010. It had to be. I'm still psychologically traumatized by the fact that you don't live there anymore in Central Square. That disturbs me. You lived there forever. It was like you owned the building. I told you before, I thought you had like a rent-controlled apartment for some reason. Gonzalo Silva used to live in your building, remember? But dude, you lived there forever. And now you live in stinking Alston. Although, you know, Alston has probably come up since I was there. It's not like the 90s, but... Is there still Riley's roast beef? Pizza roll. Junior pizza roll. Can I do this? Yo, Skinner, welcome. Let's increase your game count closer to 300. My game with Wikovich was like in the database here. I was surprised by that. But I'm not sure it was recorded correctly. I get this problem sometimes. I'll have games like that someone arbitrarily like put in the database. Then I like see them like, was that really? I don't remember that, you know? I think a lot of times there's like human input error. Probably something like 2% of games in the Opening Explorer are like games. Whoa, dude. See, this is where we need to have like more like a rule, you know, a set of rules. This is why Viking Beer needs to take lessons again. You're just not grounded enough, you know? You need to see the psychiatrist if you play G4 in this position. But I mean, the cool thing about Viking Beer, he's like a chess infant, you know? Everything is beautiful and like if you can play G4 with a clear conscience, I can see why you love chess, because you're not like poisoned, not restrained by any kind of rules and shit like that. You know, this is a pure like toddler-esque kind of move. Everything is like rainbows and sunshine if you can play G4 in this position. It's a very optimistic move, sir. Rainbow bright. Now, Bishop E5 is a classic Harvard Square move. Holy shit. Speaking of Rainbow Bright, that's another possibility. D5. Also unhinged, but good. God damn it, I didn't think you could play that. But the great thing about having no rules is basically you can do what you want, right? Do you think you made enough pawn moves today? But anyway, like d5 actually might be bad for me. I think I got caught with my proverbial pants down. Oh, man. Alright, queen a5 check. I guess he'll play his favorite move, queen d2. If I do that, right? What is Rainbow Bright? Is that a brony thing? Rainbow Sparkle. Do you know all the My Little Pony horses? Now, dog, why do I suspect that you might? My name is Sparkle Horse, and I'm asking him if he knows all the My Little Pony horses. I was hoping you would see it your way. No, not really sure why, to be honest. Yeah. Well, I let it get out of control. I mean, seriously, you're like mocking me with the move g4. That's insane, g4. You should be like slammed for that. h5 was another really strong option for me. Basically, if I play h5, he practically has to play like the really disgusting g5. Yeah, I mean g4 is definitely double question mark. It's too many pawn moves. Yeah, absolutely. But he caught me napping. I overconfidently like allowed d5. Of course, it's too many pawn moves. But now I'm not sure. You know, he has minor threat of knight c2 check. That's my only threat, though. He resigned. No, you shouldn't resign. You're like, masturbate. Okay. Resigning, you never won a game by resigning. Masturbate's constantly resigning prematurely. What about king f2? Yeah, you should have played king f2 in the first place. Everyone saw that but you. When I really don't know if what I'm doing here is going to be good enough. Honestly. The engine thinks I'm better, but I don't think it's so simple. I feel like I messed up with knight c6. No. Wow. I was seriously considering h5. The computer wants to take it. Alright, so knight c5 wasn't a blunder. I thought knight c6 was a blunder. So after king f2, I can still play knight b4, and it's too many pawn moves. But he's in the game. It's not even like one pawn down. g4 is insane, dude. I mean, you need to like, I'll get you an appointment with a therapist. Let's talk about the first mistake, though. Gotta be g4. Is this a good move? I guess this is okay. Okay, take, g4. Yeah. Wow, dude. That's like crazy. But okay, it's not lost. Check, and then here, and then knight b4, and you're lost here. But that's if black plays perfectly, bro. This isn't so easy. If you're playing another player the same rating as you, I think, a good percent of the time you're going to not lose here. Stockfish says it's +4 for black. But this is not a realistic evaluation for humans, I think. After king f2, I was going to play e3 check. What about king e2? Oh, that's g4. Okay. Stupid question. Yeah, okay. I don't blame you for resigning. You should try king f2, though, for better or for worse. I would play e3 check. Here, for example, I'm not winning, like, in one move or anything. You're not down material yet. Yeah, you opened up really wide there. Open up wide and say, ah. Kasparov-Kamsky 1991 is like the only game where someone was stupid enough to play this for black. Yeah, man, I'm in trouble. Turov Tatai 2003. Wow. Chanfi 94. No, Hafi's still alive. So this is really ambitious. F4. Wow. It's like a Gurgenidze Caro-Kann. But better. What does the computer want to play? Bishop f5. I was afraid my b7 pawn is weak. So you got queen b3. You gotta talk to, I don't know, Gutmann. There's a grandmaster, Lev Gutmann. Plays his crap for black. Okay, Mule Skinner. Seismic shifting. Mule Skinner plays the French. Look, Ma, it's a French. Franco Kraken. It's the Kraken. I lost a game the other day with c4, d5 somehow to Morales. Like, that was gross. c4, d5, exclam. Franco Kraken. Frack. So b5 transposes to delayed. Yeah. Whatever. In other news, d5 is the best move. Now I vomit if you play pawn takes pawn. And move 11 will ask the question on everybody's mind, like, can I take with the queen if white plays pawn takes pawn? I want to, bro. I hate the freaking exchange variation. How do you deal with it, Mule Skinner? How can you like go on playing the French defense when people play the exchange variation? I just want to kill myself. I would just like end my life. I played the French like 4 times. Thanks to God, no one played the exchange variation against me. It's just horrible. It's like torture. There it is. He did it on purpose. Alright, screw it. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. Do your worst. I refuse to cooperate with the stupid exchange variation. It's a Scandinavian. A6 is useful. Relatively useful here. Bishop d3. How could a French defense player, as a French defense player, you can play pawn takes pawn? Because I played a6, you think that's enough justification to play the exchange variation? Shame on you. Where's Mr. Coffee? I don't know. He's sleeping in today, I guess. Today's his lesson day, so we have a lesson. Yeah, the only days he is late is the days when he's off. You're just about to go to work. What? Coffee kicked in. My coffee kicked in too. French exchange declined. Fed. My new thing is like I'm trying to like consciously avoid any kind of symmetrical pawn structures. It just portends of draws, and this is pushing the envelope, obviously. How bad is b5? It's an interesting question. I wonder if it's that bad. Probably good enough. Good enough to be playable. Don't try this at home, friends. I really think like if I was white, I probably would have played c4. But, you know, he was maybe waiting till like there was no bishop b4 check or something. Obviously he could play knight to c3. You know, in fact, like now knight c3, wow, it's a position. I despise the Petrov. Yeah, well, it's the same thing as the exchange French. Well, it's not really completely the same thing, but obviously it can result in the same thing. It often results in the same thing, which is like boring symmetrical pawn structure. Now white has a4, rook e1. What's that about? Why rook e1? He has very good control of e4, e5. Okay. Knight e5. He's preparing bishop f1. I like the Petrov because I want to draw with black against strong players. Other than that, like I hate it. It's good for drawing with black. No, but as a French defense player, I mean, I would be reluctant to play e takes d here. Better than normal exchange because of a6, but the question is, what should white play? If he wants to keep the tension, you know, the advance is possible, the exchange is possible. If you want to keep the tension, though, what do you play? Knight c3. Muleskinner plays the Tarish, so why doesn't he just play knight d2 here? Would be my question, obvious question. Oh, good. Yeah, that's a smart move, Sladgie. Yeah, trap your own queen. Good job. You know what's kind of weird? There's like a theoretical possibility this could transpose to a queen d6 Scandinavian. I mean, knight c3, queen d6 is basically a total transposition. Exactly. No, it could literally be a transposition, but wait, that's a lot of different moves here. But my, I do have another possibility of queen c6. Walking right into the like push of death. Was he pushed or did he jump? After queen c6, d5. Do I really want to play queen c6? It's playable, I guess. Is there any benefit to it? Well, it prevents his knight from moving. Queen d6 is far more natural. I mean, this often happens in the Queen d6, and I used to play it in Blitz. I lost only the one tournament game I played the Queen d6 Scandinavian. You know, I'm guilty of that. You know, like, you have a bad experience and you give up on things. I often like played openings like one time, had a bad result, and like just like moved on to something else. It's really not right, you know. Blame the opening. I got absolutely destroyed the one time I played the Queen d6 Scandinavian by Sabo Christian. But he wasn't really a great player to play it against because he has like a Grandmaster trainer who really specializes in openings. Lukács. You could really, I don't know. And what do you expect, you know, when you play against someone who's very, very well prepared in openings? Twice he beat me when I played weird stuff, and you know, I'm thinking like, well, it'd be better to stay away from the main lines. Clearly he plays and studies the sidelines as much as main lines. There's a grandmaster who just doesn't play chess. He just teaches chess since his grandmaster inception. It's weird, man. It's weird, these guys who go to the trouble of becoming a chess grandmaster and then never play chess after that. It's very strange for me. Is it me or is that strange? You know, it's a lot of trouble to go to become a chess grandmaster just so you can like teach lessons in Hungary or something. I don't know, man. I'm having trouble getting out of the box here. Alright, dynamic dog. Oh my god, but I mean the Grunfeld, like, luckily I like played that as a youth, and I studied the Grunfeld a lot in my younger days. But eventually I also quit it. It's tough, it's very theoretical. But it is a good opening. I last played it in the early 90s. Mule to Skinner. Where's my king supposed to go here? God, this is a sick move. I mean, where am I going to put my bishop? Where am I going to put my king? Okay, c5 is not the end of the world. Oh, that move. Shelf. Put it on the shelf. I don't like the look of that too much. Wow. Hey, leave my pawn alone. Hey, teacher, leave those pawns alone. Uh-oh. It's gonna get a little worse before it gets better. Oh, I have a tactic. Hey, look, back rank. Man, Skinner is coming back, man. Handled the time pressure quite well. But now his rook is like adrift. Do you need a life preserver? Hello? This is the Philippine Coast Guard. Please. Do not enter our territorial waters. Get the hose out. Oh. Oh. What? Wasn't maybe the best move. It'll work. Hey. C3. Check first. Damn it, he has check. Oh my god, he missed it. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I blew it. Wow, dude. Mule Skinner, amazing, dude. Where did this time skill come from? He's like the guy that beat me yesterday with like sloth clock play. Suddenly he's like a genius, like with no time. I'm like a moron. Wow, you're flagging me. Dude, you're a flagger. He's really a flag player. Here I'm thinking he's slow. I was winning. It's embarrassing. But he sort of like ambushed me with the speed. I'm thinking he has like clock problems, but he's faster than me. I need to try like a doogie trick or something. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I had a winning endgame and I blew it. Because I forgot like how strong your pawn was. This is just way too fancy. I'm probably just winning here if I make a sensible move like pawn takes pawn. I had to be fancy with like rook check and c3. Again, it's not too late to just play e takes f5. And suddenly I'm not winning after this. My problem, it's the stupidest thing ever. Like I forgot like you have a passed pawn, so I'm like, oh, I can just play king d6 and I'm winning. But the problem is like you promote with check. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if even this like loses for you. No, that's probably good too. It's silly. You were winning earlier. Wow. After queen f4. But regardless, I'm kind of curious about the opening. Well, we transposed to a game for a moment there. Gunina versus Subaru. You knew that game. Mule Skinner, is that a Danish attempt at humor? Danes are funnier than Germans, right? Germans always get like just slammed for not being funny. And then, you know, like experts on German culture will be like, that's not really true, you know, that's kind of a misconception. But that was I knew you were joking. Yeah, nobody knows that game. It's completely irrelevant. Yeah, b5 was too loose for me, but I'm curious about the direct opening. So no one has ever like attempted to do this. It's that bad. You should just play c4 right away. It's not like black is lost by force, but seriously, I'm playing Queen d8 Scandinavian with the a6 in. So by not playing c4, I felt like you gave me a chance. It's a good thing I didn't play Queen c6. You can get me with the... You have some kind of trick here, it looks like. What is it? Oh yeah, that happens. I don't believe it. How does that work? Dude, I was only joking about this. Holy freaking frack. D5 would have won on the spot. But how does it work? Knight takes d5, bishop e4. Ouch. Damn, dude. Knight takes c3, bishop takes c6, knight takes d1, bishop takes b7. Rook a7, bishop c6, good luck with that. So queen d6 was forced. So here I thought I'm worse. It only dawned on me now that I might be like seriously worse here. Just when I thought like everything was okay, I'm like, you know what? It's really hard to find a move here. This I didn't like because of d5, but I missed on something. He can't play d5 because of knight f6. So if I had seen that, I would have played bishop e7 and probably held a solid draw. As it went, I did this, and this is dynamic. This is a good game though overall by you. Queen f4. I should have just played c5. Okay, anyway. No, it wasn't a bad game. And in the end, like, you were worse. Of course, like, the rook in game is much better for me with my king in the center. I'm like effectively up a piece. Even with that active rook, the rook ends up being kind of stuck there. Oh, you missed a clear pawn win with rook f5. I didn't see it. So you were fine. You were fine until the bloody end, and still it's a draw. H4 even, okay. And then this is too loose. You panic because your rook is kind of stuck there. This is a funny move, like b4 and you're like stuck forever. G3 is best, rook a1 check. And now something like here. And the problem is you're like, it's insane. This is actually a really funny position. I mean, f6 and everything's fine. I have to admit, like, I would be a little uncomfortable with white here about the fact that I don't have a rook. Or I maybe have a rook, but it doesn't really, like, effectively exist. I can't believe this is, like... I can't believe it's 0-0. I mean, black has a break with e5. I would think that black was at least, like, microscopically better. Only white can mess this up, clearly. But I could see, like, not wanting to go into that, because it looks like you could kind of be Zugzwang sort of scenario. I mean, e5 is the main problem, though. How are you going to answer the e5 break? If I put my rook here, maybe, and then play e5, you'll have to trade. Then possibly I could play rook d5, force you to trade rooks, get my king up to d5, and then in here and eat that. It seriously doesn't look equal. It looks like black has better practical chances. Yeah, the computer calls it a fortress, so it's a draw. But you were lost. In the other games, yeah, just like, why did you play the exchange variation, man? Gross. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? Mule Skinner is a French defense player, and you should be ashamed of yourself for playing e takes d5. Hang your head in shame. 17 games, and you guys wonder why I'm playing this crap? 17 games, and black has not lost once with the Christian Bauer a6 French. The Fracking Kraken. The Fracking Kraken is never ever lost against pawn takes pawn. Why don't you play knight on bd2? It's more like your Tarash. e5 is for advanced French players. There's Jonathan Rosen versus Christian Bauer. Nedog's girlfriend. His other girlfriend. Nedog, you didn't do it again. You tipped $69 fourth time. I'm sorry, I take back my joke. Nedog just tipped $69, and I called Jonathan Rowson his girlfriend. Hopefully there will be a fifth time. It's like those people that like when you like insult them. Nedog tips me. He tips you when I insult him. $69 from Nedog, taking us to 1985 on the World Senior Leaderboard. World Senior Board. No, I would vote for knight d2. And by the way, like, knight c3 is interesting as well. Because, like, is this really a good winnower? Like, I don't understand. Oh, this is the computer. No, wait. No, that's someone else. Sorry, my bad. Ben Say Laszlo. Who is that? Okay. No, I don't know. I'm not a computer, but I had this the other day, and I played, like, knight f6, and I think my opponent played pawn takes pawn anyway. Robert Hubner. At least now I can play knight takes. Nedog, thank you for the donation. Anyway, the Krakow-Fracken. Yeah, I mean, I played the Polish defense, you know, or the St. George, actually. And I mean, I know that this is better. The d5 is the best move. The only other option is really like c5 going into well, what likely will be another kind of Polish type thing. Though c4, it's a bad Benoni. I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, knight f6 is playable. Or d6, yeah, it's a Benoni. Benoni of sorts. Asterbate. Asterbate fell asleep. Kraken butt. You're gonna kick butt, Kraken. I've got to play the Kraken at least once. But I'm not going to play the Kraken with white, I don't think. We need to use our whites wisely. The black Kraken. Yeah, you could play like a weird Benoni there. But, you know, it's so disgusting when they play. Actually, Mule Skinner, here's another thought for you. I mean, obviously you could play bishop d3. I get a lot of bishop d3. But another option would be knight to d2. Anand Topalov, 1999. And then we would transpose after this, of course. Now c5, it's like I played a6 against the Tarash. Yeah, let's see. This is actually a Tarash variation. Wow. d5, knight d2, c5. I don't think you play this line with knight f3, right? Now black plays a6. It's the fourth most common move, actually. It's a constructive waiting move, is what it is. stopping the classical kind of bishop e5 Tarish moves. Does black have time to play that, though? You know, that's the question. We got a $69 donation. No challenges, though. Where are my Friday challenges? We've got a little bit of time left, yet it's not too late. Astrobate gifted 7 gift subs this week. Sensei 1. Move 11 1. Guys, we're $215 shy of the goal. We're gonna make it. How about C4? Yeah, man. I mean, you're one of those guys. They do it all the time. I just want to, like, kill myself. Like, why do you play E4 and then C4? I was afraid that you would play B5. That's really frustrating. Yeah, I had some good games here already with D5. This is deceptively good for black. The other day I had the exact position. Actually last night. How did it go? Takes and E5. I think I had this yesterday. C5, knight F3, knight C6, and white played the annoying bishop E2. Maybe I got the move order wrong. I had a game just like this last night, and I did something horrible here. I regretted it. I did like bishop G4. And then I realized, like, to my horror, that like this move, it just doesn't seem very good. Because white does bishop E3. I think this was the position on the board yesterday. And check this out. I played this position in an unrated game, and I just couldn't find a move I liked for black. But I suspect maybe bishop G4 isn't best. But what is right? C takes D4 castles. Helbing. C takes D4 castles. Queen B6 was played by black. That doesn't look very fundamental. Bishop C5. You know, it's an interesting line, but I got this position and I hated it. I didn't know what I was doing after bishop G4, bishop E3. The computer wants to play knight on GD7. I couldn't find that. I couldn't find that in a 5+3 game. So what did I do? I ended up playing something weird. I considered queen B6. What did I do? I considered taking, and it's like, this kind of sucks. Like, I hated this. Maybe I did this eventually? Oh no, I know what I did. I took. Then my opponent took with a knight, and I played bishop e4 check. This is what I did, and I got, like, just a tiny bit worse. Yeah. I ended up crushing the guy, like, with a total bind. It was really funny. He played the opening really well. Bishop takes e2, queen e2, knight on g to e7, castles. I took here. He took back. And it's like, would you believe... That's like Get Smart, right? Would you believe I like destroyed my opponent with like a light square bind with my knight on c4 in an ending where his bishop was like condemned to c1 from this position? Because that like seriously happened somehow. The guy played like God, and then he like, I don't know what happened. I mean, he literally like hung his e-pawn or something. So I was not happy with this result from the opening. Knight on gd7 is a tough move to find, though. Queen b6 is tempting, but he has knight c3, now rook d8. That's interesting as well, but black's king is in the middle of the board. What am I playing? Like the open Is this the Open Roy Lopez or what? It's like a hybrid of the Caro Kann and Open Roy Lopez. IVYM, welcome. Damn, dude. You know, and I was also strongly tempted to play this. Like it's a Tarash or whatever. The Larry Christensen Tarash thing, but it's not good. You know, I'm going to get B3'd at some point. And even if I don't get B3'd, I'm like spatially like worse on the king side. So, but you know, to answer your question, like it's funny that this knight, the C4 is not very good. Surprisingly, this position is not better for white. White has lost all 3 games. And look at that, like 3 guys who are over 2400, 3 upsets. Pierluigi Basso, who's a good player, lost to a 2300. Costacci, who's a good player, lost to a 2295. And whoever that is, lost a 2405, lost to a 2281. It's not often you see like 3 upsets. White's actually worse in this position. It's kind of unbelievable. All right, I only play for time. Fur. IVYM, good to see you. The Fur. Kraken babies. You know what the other annoying thing is? If you play, it's like the Bodler against the Sicilian. If I play people who are unrated, just noobs, no one plays knight c3. I mean, it's like everyone plays bishop d3 in that position. They don't understand. It's so frustrating. You try to play the Peerts, and like 99% of your opponents play bishop d3. And you just want to like throw the computer out the window. Like, I can't get a single game against people who can play a proper opening. Fur is a demon. Kraken. Frecko Kraken. So I could play b5 theoretically. Did we have this already with somebody? You bought it on sale for $69.69. All right. Why is this so familiar to me? Oh, right. The McCutcheon. It sounds like you're playing Warcraft or Hearthstone or something. That I was like, I have its sigil. That's a good Wordle word. Wow. Sigil. It's double I though. Man, you took. There has definitely been a game already in this variation. There has been a game already. I already had this. I just have to place it now. Just noob playing white. Do I have any other options here? robotics. What do we got? 1 o'clock. Still no Mr. Coffee. Yes, sir. Nedog donated $69 for Fur. The god of Krakens. Are demons bad? Let's watch The Exorcist together. Can you be possessed by Fur? What if I get possessed by Fur during the tournament? Because of your donation. He causes love. Love. That love thing again. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. F5, bro. I mean, I'm left with no alternatives. Actually, there is an alternative here, but it probably sucks. Knight d7. This variation is looking refuted. F5's plausible, but not. I don't think it can be better. So I'm practically busted. Practically. But there's still a middle game. This is an end game or a middle game? I'm down a pawn. I mean, I don't have enough compensation. But that doesn't mean that it's easy for white to win. Unless he plays perfectly like a computer. Bishop d7 was not my first idea, right? It causes love. It's like a Cupid demon. Demon Cupid. Wicca. That likes into Wicca. The Wicca. Wikipedia. The Wikipedia. This Kraken brought to you by Wikipedia. And bad grammar. How about Bishop e7? I don't really want to open another can of nuts here. Can of whoop ass on this opponent. The A file might be like more beneficial to white if I allow that to open. I don't really like having an isolated pawn. I'd rather not and say I did. Two crack. We can have like a wrap Kraken. So many uses for this Kraken motif. Crack baby rap battle. I don't want to guess, man. It's cool. I'm not gonna like do that to myself. Damn, Rook D1. I don't want to see white CPL here. He's killing me. Man, that sounds almost made up. I was afraid it would be a Gary Glitter joke. There goes further advantage for white. Taking me off the F6 break. I don't understand how my score is so good against this player. This is a really good game by white. I don't know, but it's pretty nuts. You should get together with Astrobate. You're a little more adulterated than him. Astrobate likes dad jokes. Wow, it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it feels like morning to me. How's my compensation? Have you seen Kraken battle? Crack battles. Time. Yeah, well, B3 was... I mean, everybody's surprised by that move, right? We never saw that coming. Isolating my pawn. Guess I should have played A5. Needless to say. How about exchange sacrifice for the blockade? For the draw. I only played for time. Ugh. What? What? Crackutopia. Crackutopia. Whew, that was a good one. Yeah, I was like, obviously, like, lost 100 different ways. Oh, man. That was a really good game by White until the end. But it's good you never give up hope, you know? It's good to never give up hope. At some point, it's just a draw, somehow. Although that's like the last result I expected was possible here. How is this a draw? Bishop f2 is a draw? Maybe there's some kind of opposite color bishop draw with bishop e4. I was just wondering how it could possibly be a draw. Here, check, rook f3. Yeah, I mean, the only possibility for a draw is really like some kind of opposite color bishops, but I mean, even so, with like two connected pawns. But the opening, I was busted. He busted my Franco-French. Franco-Kraken. So, oh man, there's a great game here. Johnny Hector versus Fries Nielsen, 2014. What a battle that must have been. Two insane Scandinavians facing each other. Knight f3. Wow, Fries Nielsen played b5. It's like the most psycho continuation. I saw this game, I think. Check this out. This is ridiculous. He played b5, White played e5, and then he played this. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is the kind of shit that this guy plays. I mean, I really got to meet this guy. Knight fd7. He's like channeling his inner Tony Miles. This is extreme hypermodernism. I totally have forgotten about this. To do that against Hector too, who's like one of the weirdest opening players in the world. Yeah, this is just like pushing the envelope too far. I tried to play something sound here, but what did Czichok do? Czichok played c5. That doesn't seem right. There was a funny idea in some positions the computer has to like sack a pawn, but not with f4 in. Holy shit, he does this. And then he did queen a5. Probably like blitz or rapid or something. I played Czichok in blitz and he was very strong. He's a specialist in weird openings too. He lives in Sweden. Oh, that's interesting. So you got Johnny Hector playing the white side on the other game, and then Czichok with black. This is like a very dubious line. Bishop d3, queen takes c5. And then white had e5, but he didn't pull the trigger. This is pushing too much pushing the envelope here. On knight f3, there's possible bishop e7, and that was played in 2 games. I had a game where I did do something like this, like e5, knight d5, basically. Here, Fries Nielsen did it again with knight fd7. Oops, I did it again. But I had a game the other day where I did this. And I think I had an opponent like take, and that wasn't really a problem. But more interesting is knight e4, b5. That's in any way possible. Kraken theory. This looks like it's not good enough. It's not good enough. If I have to play knight g8, then I'm busted. I mean, yeah, you can play it. You're basically playing Brooklyn Alekhine with a6 and f4 in. White has too much space here, so it was too much. And here I'm just busted. Let's see if I had it. You won't find my game because it was unrated. Okay. Yeah, c5 is just not enough. I have no compensation. He has compensation for my material, as Jinji used to say. Okay, well, alright. It was a good fight anyway. I missed a win earlier, though, somewhere. What? What? Oh, you, like, dropped a rook with bishop c4 check. The game was becoming silly at that point, though. You get the impression maybe I only play for fun, doesn't do increment. If you practice more with increment. Darshan Kumaran. This is Dara Hasram, not the same. Indian names are not easy, in my experience. All right. Yeah. Accelerated Kraken. But you refuted that variation. That's not playable. But thank you for playing a proper Kraken. Very little practice I'm getting here. 1 minute, sir. I'm in match. Sire. It's sire. What happened to my caps? It doesn't let me type in caps. Well, that was weird. My caps were deleted. Yeah, I'm not here to play the Polish or the Sicilian. You know, we're here to play the Kraken. Accelerated Kraken. Of course, knight f3. Either you get knight f3. Okay, at least he played knight c3. So obviously I could transpose the Sicilian, a weird Philidor. The modern, I've played a bunch of games recently with g6, straight up. There's a lot of interesting transpositions you can get. So, but I still want to kind of focus on the proper Kraken proper. Accelerated Kraken move order, proper Kraken, knight f6. Now let's try to guess White's next move. There's nothing wrong with like g3 if you want to do that. But I mean d4 is the principled move here for White. I would prefer if White played d4. We could get something useful. Now Black can still play the Pirts. Nimzovich, like kind of bad Nimzovich with knight c6. This is a mainline classical Kraken. e5 is interesting. Most people play a3, which is kind of lame. I even had one guy who played b4. I like b4, man. b4 is just not. It's just not a good move. You need chess lessons if you play b4 there. An unprincipled and romantic move. Okay, so this is this was played in a game. There's sort of like a network of weird openings. Players. Drazic has a game with Black here, I think. You don't want to watch. You want to watch out for Queen f3. That's definitely an issue. It's a Pirt's motif. But my argument. This is how I created this defense for Black. My argument is that this is better than the Queen d8 Scandinavian. My whole point is in creating this opening. One of my main points was that, like, man, the Queen d8 Scandinavian is kind of stupid. Here I can play the queen d8 Scandinavia and a tempo up, because I've already like saved time by not playing queen d5, queen d8. My queen is just on d8 to start with. So I would say, if the queen d8 Scandinavian is possible, then this is just as good or better. But this is an interesting position. The line that I only played for time played is more critical, although this is the most common. Now queen d4 loses a queen to bishop takes b5 check. However, the g2 pawn is hanging. So this is a pretty spicy move. Obviously, sacking the g2 pawn may or may not be intentional, but I think I'm obligated to take this. I'm not a materialistic player, but I have to prevent him from castling, and he's going to have compensation based on active rook here. But on the other hand, like, does he really want to castle queenside into this extended fianchetto? Not particularly. I'm not committed to castling kingside. I fully anticipate white has compensation for a sacrificed pawn here, but I still think that I would play this in a tournament game. I mean, unclear for black is not a bad result, or compensation for material is not a bad result out of the opening for black. Or, you know, my opponent has compensation for my pawn up. Dynamic imbalance, I would say. My king isn't real safe, 100% safe. It's going to be tricky to castle kingside. But then again, like, his king isn't 100% safe either. I guess I should try to play g6. There's also the question of challenging this knight on e5. I could borrow an idea I used in the Black Mardimer, which is like knight c6 to attack the knight and threaten knight b4 in some positions. I mean, not just the Black Mardimer, but other things as well. This may be a blunder. I don't think so, though. I mean, queen f3, knight e5, queen b7, knight takes d3 check, pawn takes. Black's fine there. You have to double check queen f3. Thanks to donation again from Nedog. We're almost at 2,000. Masturbate sleeping. Kimchi. You did that. He has bishop takes b5 check. Secret tactic. c6. Well, that's a crazy position. You had bishop takes b5 check there, which I completely missed. Okay, no. I have to be fine here. Is black winning? Or does white still have... Does white still have compensation for a sacrificed pawn? I don't know. I sort of doubt it. I doubt white's fully okay here. Rook b8, sacking the a6 pawn is interesting. No, I can't give you an extra time. You gotta be kidding me. That's fur, like affecting the lights in my house. We need to have a seance. If Nedog's still here. Very bad move. Trading. Trading there. Should I take with the knight? King takes knight e4. I mean, I'm up a clear pawn. Maybe I'll even fix his pawns here. Check your PayPal. I got it yesterday. IBYM. You sent it yesterday, right? Did you come on? Did you come on the stream? You were here, right? I looked. I tried to scroll back in the chat. But unfortunately, my chat had been like. It had been deleted. Half the chat had been deleted because I got reconnected to the chat room. I thought you said something, and then. Yeah. No, I thought you said something about making a donation, where to make it, and then the chat was gone. So I had forgotten about it, but then I saw the donation. Yeah, thank you. IBYM donated $100 yesterday. Very generous. You guys, Nedog, IBYM, Mr. Slow, Move 11. We've almost reached our donation goal. This is possibly a mistake. Nah. I'm just going to have to defend f7 with my king. But 1500 played pretty well for 1500, to be honest. But I'm not going to give people more time, and that's not how it works. Alright, my pawn is in need of defending. So it's a technical ending, a pawn up. Maybe a computer could defend this for white. Super knight. Don't know if I should do f6, but it gives me a little bit of dark square control. That little extra dark square control, which comes in handy here. Now we can, yeah, this is good. We can kick him out. His bishop is not so great. Bring my rooks to the center. Yeah, that's a good try. Now he has a powerful duo of pawns here, but they're not going anywhere. Powerful only in theory. But the full blockade, just too much. White needs to improve certain aspects of his game, but he plays pretty well for 1500, I would say. Yeah, finally panicking. But you played a credible game, sire. Get out of the pawn. Don't be greedy when you're out material. We'll first grab this open file, bring the king back, close it up, and then, you know, he has no way to get his rook in except for the A file. So we can just munch his material. It's over. Everything must go sail. How are we doing on time? We have time for one more game. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, one more game. If there is a challenge, White should really resign. This is a waste of time. Wasting my time, dude. Alright. No rematches. But IVYM, I included your name in the donation list on Twitch. For those that don't get in the Streamlabs list, if you make a donation, I put the name on the yearly donations list to credit you guys who have donated to support the stream. IVYM, very generous, Mr. Slow, and we're almost at the donation goal. I'm leaving on the 24th of October. 11 rounds, World Senior Championship. I'll try to post in our team, you know, either on Twitch or actually YouTube. Maybe I could make some YouTube vids about the games from the World Senior or something. Like a VOD. Game VODs from World Senior. I'm going to be working more on my World Senior on my YouTube channel in the coming weeks and months. If we have no other games, I'm going to call it. I've got a lesson coming up, and it's almost time anyway. Alright, guys. I'm going to take a break. We'll see you Sunday with Simul time. Sunday, usual Simul time, 6:30 p.m. CEST. I'll see you when I see you. Thanks, IVYM and Mr. Slow. Nedog today, 69 for Fur. Fur will possess my spirit at the World Senior. I'll see you guys. You should join one of my simuls sometime, Nedog, if you can. I don't know if you're free on Sundays. You probably have an active and demonic Wicca social life on the weekends. I know you're saving the 666 donation for for Sunday. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.